Right, let's bring in Ken Richards now to talk more about this. Managing Director of Australian-listed Leaf Resources. He joins us from Sydney. Ken, so what's glycol technology all about, and how do the economics stack up?
In plant waste, usually agricultural material after it's been processed, and turning it exactly as you said into industrial sugars. The key to all of this is the economics, and we use waste glycerol from biodiesel manufacturers, the main reagent, and that gives us a far superior result to any other process, giving us 25% more sugars from the same biomass. So that's economically advantaged. But the biggest key is the glycerol that we put in to get this outstanding result. We buy cheap, and as we recover 95% of it, we recover it in a refined form, so we're able to sell that at a profit. So that gives us the ability to break down the plant biomass, make the industrial sugars that go into bioplastics or into renewable chemicals, green solvents, but also make a profit on the glycerol, which drives the economics. And it's all wonderful to be green, but at the end of the day, if you don't hit price and performance, it goes for nothing. So what we have is a very economical process driven by those multiple products coming out at the back end.
Which products do you have the highest margins on, Ken? Because I think you make an extremely important and valid point that if the profitability isn't there, it won't work in the long term. So where do you make most of your money?
So we make it from all facets. Basically, we're buying a material, plant biomass, and turning it into as much as we can. So we're getting industrial sugars out. We're getting lignin from the plant material as well, and that's a very useful product and going to have a lot of useful things in the future, including carbon fibre, phenols, others. And we also recover the glycerol. So where we make our money is we're maximising the waste we use. So we're really scavengers in one way. We're taking low-value plant material from agriculture, we're taking low-value glycerol, and we're turning it into these product streams, multiple product streams that have real value. So that's the key to our process, is real value at the end of the day with renewable chemicals, bioplastics, glycerol, etc.
Ken, you need biorefineries, you need these large assets in order to do what you do. And as I understand it, you're looking to develop one in Malaysia. Just talk to us about how far away you are from securing the funding for that project.
So yes, we're looking at a site. We've secured a site in a place called Segamar, which is roughly halfway between Kuala Lumpur and Johor. It's surrounded by the palm oil industry, and we utilise the waste from the palm oil industry. Malaysia is a fabulous place because there's a national biomass strategy where the government is hugely supportive of turning waste agricultural material into chemicals. And we've already completed our feasibility study on that site, which shows that roughly for $150 million capital, we will return an EBITDA of around the 50 million to 70 million mark. So it's extremely financeable. We've now just raised 5 million here in Australia on the Australian Stock Exchange, and we'll take that through to a bankable feasibility. So sometime early next year, we'd like to have completed that bankable feasibility and be moving forward onto the financing of that plant using some advantage capital sources through the Malaysian government and other aspects in Malaysia.
Ken, when you look back over your career history specifically, this is what you do, isn't it? You take companies through their various stages of commercialisation. What do you see as the biggest risk when it comes to Leaf Resources, given you are using a new technology?
So that in itself is the biggest risk. You're quite right. This is about my third time doing this. And it's always hard to get a new technology up, and financing a first plant is always the most difficult thing. So the biggest risks going forward are always the financing aspects. Fortunately, we have a lot of internationally strong partners, relationships, etc., that support and back our technology. We have a research agreement with Novozymes, one of the largest enzyme companies in the world. We've recently announced an MOU with Petronas, an oil and gas company from Malaysia. We have a project development partner out of America called Claris. So we've managed to get a whole strength in the coalitions to bring this project together. And we have very good relationships with the Malaysian government, including the new Malaysian government, who are both supportive of this process of turning biomass into chemicals. The market for chemicals is really being driven by the consumer very, very strongly. And because the consumer wants it, the consumer good companies want it, and many governments around the world are looking to support this. So we're in a good spot. We're very sustainable. We save carbon. And so the financing aspects are positive, but until we've completed that financing, there's always some level of risk.
Indeed. All right, Ken, we're out of time, unfortunately, but a real pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you so much for joining Shri and myself here on Squawk Box.